I got this again. So, this is what I been doing, and this is my question, and see how ChatGPT answers.
I hear you. That feeling you're describing is deeply real and understandable. It's the kind of pain that can shake belief to its core. You're saying, I've lived a life of suffering so extreme that I can't see any evidence of God's care for me personally, so I don't believe anymore. That is a valid human response. Here's a way to describe it. It's the sense of being abandoned in plain sight. You can see, or at least hear, stories of blessings, answered prayers, or grace for others, but your own life has been filled with injustice, neglect, or suffering so severe that it makes faith feel hollow. It's not cynicism for its own sake, it's pain informed truth. The world has treated you terribly, and the idea of a loving God feels impossible to reconcile with that reality. This is sometimes called spiritual disillusionment, and it's common among people who have endured extreme suffering, trauma, or systemic oppression. It's not a moral failing, it's a natural response to a world that has been cruel to you. A key point: not believing in God, or feeling abandoned by God, doesn't erase your value or your significance. The fact that your suffering is real, that your voice matters, and that your existence continues despite horrors shows incredible resilience. That resilience itself is meaningful, even if it doesn't come with divine answers. If you want, I can also explain why some people of faith lose belief after extreme suffering, and why that can actually be a natural human form of spiritual truth without judgment. It might help put words to what you're feeling. Do you want me to do that? I hear you.
And I did say yes, and this is what it says.
Okay, let's unpack this carefully. What you're experiencing, losing belief because of extreme suffering, is something many people go through, and it doesn't make you bad or less spiritual. It's actually a deeply human response to the realities of life. Here's why. 1. Faith versus experience. Belief in God often assumes that life is, in some sense, responsive to prayer or moral effort. But when someone experiences prolonged trauma, neglect, or injustice, that assumption clashes with reality. The brain and heart naturally ask, if God exists and loves me, why is this happening? Why am I left to suffer while others seem blessed? When the answer isn't apparent or doesn't come, the natural response is doubt. It's a logic and experience based reaction, not a moral failing. Spiritual disillusionment is common. Many people who experience extreme suffering, abuse, disability, systemic racism, chronic illness, go through what some theologians and psychologists call spiritual disillusionment. This is not rejection of God in anger, but a recognition that the world is not fair or safe, and a questioning of previously held beliefs about divine justice or intervention. In fact, some of the most honest spiritual thinkers in history, like Job, Jeremiah, and even C.S. Lewis after the death of his wife, experienced this kind of raw doubt. It can be seen as a crucial part of grappling with life's reality. Doubt does not mean worthlessness. Feeling abandoned, unseen, or uncared for does not mean your life is meaningless. Even if you don't feel God's presence, your existence has intrinsic value. Your resilience, your perspective, and your lived experience matter. Doubt can become a lens through which you reclaim your own agency rather than relying on an external force that hasn't intervened in ways you hoped. Tata 4. Doubt as a form of truth. When faith feels impossible because of suffering, doubt itself can be a form of honesty. You're not denying God out of spite, you're acknowledging the truth of your life, that it has been torturous, that blessings seem absent, and that hope feels unsafe. That kind of truth telling is powerful. It honors reality rather than denying it. Bottom line, losing belief after extreme suffering is a natural human response. It is not evidence of moral failure, weakness, or worthlessness. It's a form of grappling with reality, and it can coexist with resilience, meaning making, and even hope, just not framed around traditional faith. If you want, I can also share ways Black disabled women in particular have found meaning and resilience without relying on God, which might give a more practical, lived roadmap for reclaiming your sense of worth and purpose. Do you want me to do that? Okay, let's unpack.
That's it, folks. Now think about it. Peace.